G'day everyone, Prep Aussie here. I hope you're all well in whatever part of the world you're watching this video. Today is Friday, the 21st of January 2022, and the time here is 11:20 Australian Standard Time. All right, folks, plenty to go through. Let's get into it. Here is my sponsor, Totally Rawsome, who make golden activated turmeric paste and other health food items for you and your pets. Folks, if you haven't tried their golden activated turmeric paste, you are missing out. You are seriously missing out because it's really good for your anti-inflammatory. I take it for my knees, and I have not taken anything else since I started taking it. So that's how good it is. They've also got the stuff for the dogs, the doggy treats and the pig's ears. My dogs love them, absolutely love them. Contact the guys 0433 165 848 and info@totallyrawsome.com.au. Okay, I'm going to play a video. It's a news video, so I shouldn't get banned for playing it because it's actually news. So we'll see how we go. Basically, the distress that this caused me was palpable just watching this. And you know, we're getting to the point where people are like, this can't go on anymore. So let's watch the video and then we'll go into the ramifications of it.
The Capalaba Cafe has been shut down and its owner locked out after he was arrested for refusing to comply with COVID rules. He was marched out in dramatic scenes as supporters turned their attention to police.
At the Vintage Apron, a very modern confrontation. 3 officers try to arrest its owner, Pierre Coury, their struggle clear as customers film. Police claim the cafe flouted COVID rules by not displaying QR codes, not wearing masks and letting unvaccinated customers in. Coury told 7 News he isn't anti-vax.
Community safety comes first as far as we're concerned. This is part of community safety.
Police marching him out of his own business. His supporters swarmed Capalaba station where they thought he was being taken. This is the employee car park.
Yeah, we've got rego numbers, we can track them down. A lot of these are personal, which is great.
That severely compromises the safety of our people.
Police say they received around 20 complaints leading up to their visit from shoppers here concerned about customers not wearing masks. It's not the first time police visited. This on January 2, officers booed.
With honour, you do not serve.
Now the cafe has been closed by Capalaba Central, centre management issuing it with a notice of failure to remedy breaches. Tensions were high as supporters clashed with them.
You're on private property, this is not a public site.
Mr Coury has been charged with 3 offences, including obstructing police and not complying with health directions. This Toowoomba pub also ordered to close for allegedly breaching COVID rules. Outside, patrons formed a barrier as police tried to move in. Inside, hours later, the owners were charged as anti-mandate hostility builds. Alexandra Cullen, 7 News.
I think even the term sickening doesn't do that justice. Now, interestingly, did you see the people in the pub screaming at the coppers? Like, what are you doing, mate? Now, what's going to happen when they go into that particular cafe? Because don't forget, that cafe owner now has lost his business. He's lost his business. He's lost his livelihood. For all we know, he's putting kids through school, college, etc. It just boggles the mind that in 1 year, Australians have changed to this extent and become such a pathetic, distrustful scum. And that's being polite. So here's my question, and if there's anybody out there that supports these police or whatever, you know, good luck to you, but I can't justify it. Excuse me. Did you notice that there was 3 women police? Now that interested me in the fact that, okay, because police have this problem in their minds where they go to people and they think that all people are the same and they're going to submit. Now, how do you think that would have played out if that guy was someone like me, for example, pretty handy and knew what he was doing and smashed all 3 of those women onto the floor? Because the reason I'm saying that, I am not promoting violence. What I'm trying to get to here is, if you keep pushing people, because by the way, that video, he's not the first one. There's the Queensland Police where I live, they're doing it to everybody. And the people are getting pissed off. So where does this go to where, you know, are we going to get to the video where the guy actually does some physical harm to these coppers? Because I can tell you now, like, if they try to pull that stunt on me, it'd be a whole different story. And I've noticed that the reason they're sending the women there is so that the blokes don't overreact. Because I've seen a few other videos now and they've clicked onto the fact that, well, hey, these guys are getting pretty pissed off. And obviously, you know, it's an old Dorman's thing is, if you want to calm down a situation, have a woman at the door, and then the guys usually tend to, you know, ratchet it down a little bit, apart from the obvious complete moron dickheads that actually don't understand that. And this is my point. And I'm not saying these people are morons or dickheads, but you're going to get that one person very soon, and you're going to get several people very soon that are just going to go, nah. And it's going to sadly end in violence. And it may be pretty heavy violence, because these police that we're paying their wages are going into cafes because the centre manager rang the police. How sickening is that? And it's interesting to note that those people the most important part out of that whole video was the fact that the people went to the police station and videoed people's cars. Did you hear it? Their regos on their cars. So this is getting to a real train track situation now, folks, where you've got, and it's an analogy that we used in karate a lot. You know, you can have a room full of people, and you definitely have 2 lines of people. The heavy line, the softer line sort of thing, if you want to use that term. And they both travel down the same path. And your goal as an instructor or as a trainer or someone training is to meet those two in the middle somewhere. So the harder people learn the softer thing, and the softer people learn the harder thing, if that makes sense. So you get to a point where you're actually, by the time you get your black belt, you should be able to utilize both parts of your body, your brain, etc., etc. Because if you can't do that, then you're not a real black belt. You shouldn't be going down that one singular path until you get to that point, which is my point. So we now have 2 train tracks, and there is no point in the middle, folks. And this is only going to get worse. Because remember, you've got school going back soon. Now, this, honestly, I can't tell you where it was or anything else, obviously, but this happened to me personally 3 days ago on Tuesday. I was in a pharmacy where, no, sorry, let me start again. I had to go and get a blood test the other day. Now, here's something interesting for you people around the world and for you people in Australia if you didn't know this. And this is a fact. You can go to your doctor and he will tell you this is the truth. I'm not know about New South Wales and the rest of Australia, but here in Queensland, this is what they did. So I went to my doctor because I've got my condition, and I said, well, look, how do I know that I haven't had COVID? And he went, well, you don't. And I said, well, hang on a minute. Surely I can have a blood test that tells me whether I've had COVID or not. I must have antibodies. Everybody must have it, etc., etc. And he said, yes, you're correct, except the Queensland government banned all blood tests for COVID. So get this, their theory is not, oh, you might have COVID, blah, blah, blah. Now, this is pertinent because of the fact that there's so many people having ill effects from the vaccine. So the point here is these people may have already had COVID, didn't know it, went and got a jab and got sick because they'd already had COVID and it made them sick. But there's nothing they can do about it because the Queensland government banned all blood tests for COVID. It took 25 minutes in the surgery to find out the codes, ringing people, carrying on. This is straight up fact, folks. It took 25 minutes to find out what code I could use due to my condition to get a blood test to get COVID. And I'll tell you how rare it is. When I was in there, the woman said, oh my God. She couldn't even remember the last person who'd had it done. So the theory is, don't worry about blood tests, just get a jab. What time in our history have we ever done that? Never, ever. It's always been test everyone first and then find out if they've got whatever and then give it to the people who need it the most. But no, the theory is now all the governments around the world decided, no, we're not doing blood tests. They banned the blood test to find out if you've got antigens and they just jabbed you. So anyway, I went there the other day, still got the thing in my arm. I went there the other day and it was distressing. And the reason it was distressing was because while they're doing my blood test, the kids in the surgery are screaming because these parents are taking their kids in there to get this jab. And I mean screaming. Now, I had to go into the pharmacy. So I was in the pharmacy, and there was a mother there who was screaming at her child to get this thing. And I mean bullish, like not, oh, come on, darling. It was like, you're doing it. We got the jab. You're getting a jab. Like screaming at this poor boy who was about 10 and was absolutely shitting himself. For a nanosecond, no, it was longer than that, I thought I really should step in here to protect this kid because in my mind it's child abuse. And then I had kind of like this voice in my head that said, no. Right or wrong, this voice said no. And the reason was, or my thought process was, it's not going to matter because these people are going to do it anyway. And this child is now condemned by its parents. Possibly. I wish to God that I had a video of it because it was just traumatizing. I'm 57 and I've done a lot of shit in my life, but that was traumatizing. The thing was, I swore to myself, if she grabbed hold of that kid and shoved him in the chair, I was going to step in. But she didn't get to that point, and I don't know what happened because I did my thing and I got out of there as quick as I could because I was ready to do a Tonga bloody volcano job. So I had to leave in the end. I just thought, I can't do this. I can't promise that if it happens again, I'll do the same thing because I'm a little bit disappointed in myself because I didn't do anything. But like I said, the voice in my head was like, why bother? Because these people are so skewered that if they're sitting screaming at their kid in a pharmacy to get a jab, then they've lost all perspective on life, which is kind of where I got to, although that's not fair on that child. But see, this is the dichotomy we're all in, isn't it? Where do we draw the line? Because, he's not my child, and that's not an excuse. Like, if you see child abuse, it should be child abuse. But it still upsets me today. I'm nearly in tears about it now. Like, it's just that upsetting. Where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line, folks? Because you see, the reason I played that cafe video was not so much because what they did. We all know what they're going to do. You'd have to be a bloody idiot living under a rock under a creek not to know what these clowns are doing. But the fact that the people are getting pissed off. So what happens to these police when they go into a bar or, wherever, and then they get attacked by 40 people? Because it's going to happen. And I'm not promoting violence at all. But at some stage, people are going to go, we did this, we did that, enough. So where's this end? And, my son said to me this morning, oh, they've what's the name? The Novavax now. The Novavax is approved now. You can take the Novavax. And he said, what does that mean? And I said, it means nothing, mate. It means that they're going to keep doing this. And I said, did you read the other bit of the news where they said that you're going to have 2 jabs now every year? And he said, no way. And I said, that's exactly what they're going to do. You're going to have one in June and one in December. And the people are taking this shit. Where's the line in the sand? Because I got to be honest, I'm going to step over it soon. Probably end up in jail or something stupid like that, I guess, or getting charged for something. But you know, how long do they expect this to keep going on for? The backlash, by the way, from the people to those in control will be nothing compared to what they are going to do to us. And I hope you realise that. And I hope everybody realises that. They actually think, and they're probably right, because there's so many people that have bent over backwards to get this done. They think that they're going to win, they're going to just keep doing this forever. This is your new normal. The new normal is you will submit. You will submit. So unless you're prepared to do that, then you need to start planning for plan B. Because they're not, like I said in the last video, they're not going to leave you alone. So when people like me finally go over that line and there's a massive outcry, then sorry, you should have listened to me. You know, you should have done something. We all should have done something, which is a whole nother point. You know, I get lots of comments in the videos, etc. We're all in the wrong. And the reason why and this is down to me as well, because I just wanted to be left alone. Leave me the fuck alone. Don't come near me. Just leave me grow my veggies and, you know, whatever I'm doing. I don't really want to play a big part in society. I just want to do my bit, die, go to heaven if that's possible. You know, bring up some good kids into society. And, you know, when they took the prayers out of school, when they told us that we couldn't do this, and they told us that we couldn't do that, and you can't cross the road unless you push the button on the thing, you can't, you know, you can't make phone calls, you can't do YouTube, you can't do videos about this, and you know, all of those things have gotten us to this now. You will submit. All of us are at fault. All of us. Because we all let this shit go on. You know, letting our kids go on video games 24/7, brain dead. You know, it's just irreversible now, folks, sadly. The mission, and it is a mission, to fix this will, you know, it's not going to be over in 6 months. You're talking 10 years. You have a whole generation, 2 generations of people that are completely useless. Well, 3. Some people in my generation still got it. The generation below me, no chance. And the generation below them, absolutely no chance. But it's interesting to note that that last generation is the generation that will cross that line first, because they're like, I ain't taking this shit, mate. And good marks to them, because that's what needs to be done. So breaks your heart, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Like this shit breaks your heart. And it's going to keep being like that. And like this is going to go on for 10 years now. Think about that. It's 2022 now. 2 years went like that, remember? 2019, that's when we found out about China. 2019, it's 2022 now. In the blink of an eye, 2 years has gone past. We've still got another 8 years of this mess to sort out. So get your head around that. Anyway, symptoms, Omicron. Yeah, it's bad. I'm still suffering, a bit lethargic. I should have been back doing stuff around the house by now, but I'm not, because I've decided just to completely take time off to get over this. Still suffering from a little bit of exhaustion, fevers, headaches, bad headaches. Never had headaches in my life. These are shocking. I've got no nasal problems anymore, no cough. The pain in my chest is gone, all that sort of stuff. But it's just the exhaustion that's the main thing, and a little bit of brain fog, pretty bad actually. So look, it's no joke, but just make sure you're taking all your stuff every day. Your vitamin D, your vitamin C, vitamin D, high doses, 5,000 each. That's what I've been doing. Iron, vitamin B. I've been doing this for months. When I told my doctor, he said, "Oh, you need to start taking some vitamin C to help you." And I told him I've been doing that for over a year anyway, you know. And he went, "Oh, what are you taking?" When I told him, he nearly fell out of his chair. He said, "Oh my God." He said, "I don't think I've had anybody take any of that." He said, "Well done." He said, "That's probably why you're going to pull through it, hopefully." And here's something I wanted to say to people. I don't know whether this is important or not. That voice in your head that's telling you not to take this jab because you know it, you inherently know that it is evil. Where do you think that voice is coming from? Don't you think it's kind of weird? If you look at the people that it's choosing, this voice going, "I ain't taking that shit." I have this steadfast belief of not to take it. And it's not because of anything else apart from the fact that I just think it's evil. This is my whole point about this. It's my choice, and it's kind of evil. So I'm kind of thinking that it's something from God, where God's saying, not that I'm saying I've been chosen or anything, but I'm just saying that seems to be the main thing. It's like, I'm not a scientist or anything, but it just seems to be evil. And I know instinctively or intrinsically, if you want, not to take this. So it'd be interesting to see what you guys think as well. All right, I've rabbited on long enough. Let's do the prayers. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into divers temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Wow, what a good verse. Let's read that again. From James 1:2-3. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into divers temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Wow, good one. And as always, folks, we'll finish with the Lord's Prayer. The Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. All right, folks, I'll leave it there. God bless. Try and stay the line if you can, as long as you can. And remember, until that line is crossed, it's all about being non-violent, just non-compliance. Simple as that. All right, God bless. Prep out.